Good morning. It's still only 6 o'clock. Be quiet. No one's awake yet. Lots of people getting on the bus, getting on the turnpike, sitting in traffic at the tunnel. You know, eventually we have to go into the city, so we know what that's like. All right, so curtain walls, mullions. We're talking about mullions, right? Now, just because I flew through it, before you place a corner mullion, make sure the endpoints of the two curtain wall segments are cleanly connected. You can drag the endpoint controls of the walls or use the trim extend to corner tool. We went over that. To place a corner mullion, simply use the mullion tool and select one of the corner edges of either one of the wall segments. If you have already placed a regular mullion at the end of a curtain wall segment, select the mullion along the vertical edge and then use the type selector to choose a corner mullion type. Remember that you can use the context menu, right-click and select mullions on the grid line to make the selection easy. So, again, just to go through the process, you'll also draw a curtain wall. You draw this one right next to this one. You got to keep the edges joined cleanly. We didn't really wrap it. That was one continuous line segment I drew, and I turned up in the Y direction. As you can see, there's a little bit of an overlap. Now it said two things. It says that if you already drew a mullion, you can change the by right mouse clicking. You can help yourself select by select mullions on vertical grid, right? That's all of them. Or you could select this one wall mullion segment, and you could select mullion on grid line. That's the grid line of that mullion, or the, again, I'm going to reiterate it. I don't like the word line. The overall kernel definition. You're defining the curtain wall. Where are you defining it from? The curtain wall definition. So we could change its type, right? Being that it's pinned, we can't. But if they were all unpinned, because you can't change a pinned element, if they were all unpinned, which can be a pain, you can then select from the type selector, not from the edit type, the type selector. You could change it, being that it's already in place. So now there's no corner return wall to attach the other end of this corner mullion to. But you can see it's not joined because there's no other wall. And you'll get a warning message. You'll get 4 warning messages. A corner mullion has been placed at the end of a curtain wall that's not joined to another curtain wall. The angle of the curtain wall mullion will default to 90 degrees. Second message. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And why is that? Well, because there's 4 mullion sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 individual sections. But as you can see, it did place in the L mullion for us. And if you look over here in the other, let's look at it here in plan, see, and then here in plan where we just create that continuous wall with return, we could then go to the wall. We could look at it in plan or elevation, and this is it in elevation. That's this wall. You can see it here in 3D view. And we can place a mullion along this wall, as long as it's joined. So if we go to architecture, go to mullion, we could hover over the wall, and this is going to give us a rectangular mullion anywhere we place. Now this isn't a corner mullion. We could change that, and there you go. That's a simple way of doing it. We can change this to, the dimensions are what are going to constrain it. So this 5-inch trapezoid, you could see, is actually kind of cool. You could actually change the surface material of this. So, and that's something that you can really start to customize. You can really start to customize your aesthetics. So here it is rendered. Let's hover over it for a second. And let's just, let's look at it from the top view. If I can here, hold on. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Hold on, I'm doing a little programming. Slow programming. Bear with me. Again, it's the opposite of REVIT's controls. It's navigation controls. So it can be a real pain in the butt to get down, especially when you have your hotkey set. And again, we haven't talked about hotkeys and customization yet. It comes in the appendix. All right, so here it is, the trapezoid mitered at these wall sections, curtain wall sections, curtain wall segments, if you will. And then here's the L. I guess we can put in a V as well. So when we continue with all the shapes, like I discussed earlier, to get a better idea of what they look like rendered. All right, so let's just keep these two here. Let's go back to the wall. Let's put in two more curtain wall segments. Give me a second. Alright, so those two have returns, and if we can go to 3D, we can go to 2D elevation, and we place a mulligan. And as you can see, we can place it at the vertical grid line. Place 2. And you see they're just rectangular mulligans in plan. If I could select it, just a mulligan, and we could change this one in the type properties. In the properties, we can see the type selector. We've done the L. We've not done the quad, and we haven't done the V. So let's do the quad. As you can see, where it actually miters the curtain wall definition line. Again, we can adjust that offset. Right? We can adjust that offset. Let's give this a 1-inch offset. And let's just be cognizant of what direction it goes in. Ready? Let's give it a 1-inch offset. Oops. 1-inch offset. And as you can see, it went a foot. That's because I put in 1 foot. 1-inch offset. So if we hit OK, and then we edit it. Oops. Your sister, hold on. That's what I get for having an individual, intermittent step. I just lost the internet. That's okay. Let's give this a 1-inch offset. Somebody's already working with a hammer drill. 6:17 in the morning, I hear a hammer drill. I said, there's a 1-inch offset. Let's back that out. Forward it forward. You see how it went in the 45-degree direction from 90, 135 degrees. It went at 135 degrees. If I undo it, you'll see how it went at counterclockwise 135 degrees. All right, so that is the quad. Now we have this one. Tab, and we're going to change this one to the V corner. Okay, and again, we can adjust the size and the offset, the thickness. If we wanted to give this a 1-inch thickness, we could do that. And I wouldn't recommend it until you speak with the manufacturer. I would speak with the manufacturer. Now, that's not much detail, right? That's not much detail built into that profile. But again, a profile could have as many components in it as you want. These mullions are very intricate, It's a science in and of itself, because it's weather stripping. If you think about it, it's weather stripping. It has to be efficient. You're going to lose so much heat by compromising the wall. Anytime you compromise a wall, you lose heat. It's almost like an insertion loss in fiber optics. All right, so customizing curtain wall types. We've just done that to a certain extent. So this is part one of the video. And again, I'm going to keep this nice and slow so that we could really hone in on where we are. So let's just keep our focus on this curtain wall system. And let's just keep this between you and I. We don't want the masses to know. It's just like with the stock market, pump and dump, right? And supply and demand. If everybody knows that there's a good thing, then everyone's going to buy it. And if everyone buys something and the demand goes up, well, you know what that does to the price. So let's just keep this instructional series between the two of us. There's absolutely no reason for us to broadcast this to everyone. Because first of all, some are going to dismiss this as just the rantings of a lunatic. And that's fine. 90% of them are going to skim through this, and this guy has nothing to offer. And that's fine. But for those of you that are in the know, let's just keep this between us. This is page 567, right? Architecture is the study of space, time. They should have said coffee. It's also the study of coffee. Keep your thinking caps on.